Greetings, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial for you. And today I'm going to show you how to crochet the Virus meets Granny shawl. And I've gotten a number of requests to do this shawl, so I thought, why not now? And this is going to be a multi-part series tutorial so that I can be as thorough as possible for you. Alrighty? So I'm going to be using today a size H crochet hook, and I'm going to be using Mandible Yarn by Lion Brand, and I love this colorway, don't you? And this is the colorway Warlock. A little sinister, but hey, I think it's quite lovely. And no, I'm not sponsored, but whenever I see a yarn that I really like and I want to show you guys, hey, I'm all about the shout-outs. So without further ado, let's get started. Row 1. All right, we're going to get right into it. And you don't need a tremendous tail, but you want to leave something. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with, of course, our slip knot, naturally. And we are going to chain 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain that we created in order to form a loop. So, being careful not to twist this, we're going to just carry it around, and we're going to go into that first chain right there, like so. Grab our working yarn, not our tail yarn, but our working yarn, and do a slip stitch right on through both loops, and now we've got a ring. Ta-da! And now we're going to chain up 3, which is going to count as our first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then continue by doing 19 double crochets within the ring for a total of 20 double crochets. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you don't have to use the yarn that I'm using, of course. You can use whatever you like. I think this would be a great pattern for Karen cakes, and that is actually what I used for the picture that I did for the intro, and that was Karen cakes. I believe the colorway was Poached Pear, if I'm not entirely mistaken. And I used about 2 skeins. Now, I don't know if I'm going to need both skeins that I acquired for this project as far as the mandala yarn, but I always say it's better to have too much than too little. And since that is a thicker yarn, I used a size I hook. So let's see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm going to post the link to this pattern in the description box below if you want to print it out and follow along. All right, so we've got 20 double crochets within the ring, and you don't want to connect them. You don't want to slip stitch from one into the third chain on this side. You do want this bit of chain to be exposed because we're not going completely in the circle. We're going to be going back and forth and back and forth. Alrighty, so that's the end of row 1. Alright, onwards to row 2. So to begin with, we're going to chain 3. Turn the work. And then we're going to do a double crochet into each of the next stitches. Not this first one right here, excuse me, not this one right here, but going into that next one, because this counts as a double. So you're just doing a double in each. Easy enough. When I came across this pattern, I was quite delighted, as I'm sure you know if you've been following any of my other tutorials, that I'm a big fan of the granny stitch. Absolutely love it. And when I did a tutorial of the original Virus Shawl, I was really quite delighted and really quite shocked at how popular it was going to be. And so I looked at this and I thought, hey, it's sort of a best of both worlds kind of scenario. Oops. There we go. We're just doing one in each. Really quite simple. Alright, see, we're just about at the end, so we're going to do a double in here, and then a double into the top of this chain right here. So right underneath both loops of the V, like so. It can be a little tricky, but if you're patient, you can get it. And there you go. And so that's the end of row 2. Row 3. So for row 3, we're going to start by chaining up 4. Turn the work. Now, this chain 4 is going to count as the first double crochet plus a chain stitch. So we're going to skip over this first chain here, and we're going to go into the next one with a double crochet. So we've got a bit of an opening here. And we're going to continue going all the way across in the same fashion. We're going to chain 1, go into the next double with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. We're going to do this all the way across. Don't know if you can hear, but it is pouring outside, and neither rain nor snow will keep me from doing a video if I can help it. But it's really coming down out there, my goodness. Even have flood warnings, but don't worry, I'm safe and sound here with you. And also I thought, if you haven't seen my video on the original Virus Shawl, I think I'll put a link to that one as well in the description box, just in case if you want a more uniform pattern to go by. All right, and again, we reached the end of the road, so doing double in here, chain one, and then into the top of this last double crochet. So again, it can be a little bit tricky, but I got it. All right. Ta-da! And that's the end of row 3. Just going to keep fanning out. All right, row 4. So for row 4, this is where it starts to get interesting. We're going to start by chaining up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We turn the work, and we're going to skip this first chain 1 space right here. We're going to go into the next, and we're going to do a single crochet into this, not this one, but the second chain 1 space. So I've got a single crochet into that space right there, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and oops, 4, and then we're going to skip this next chain 1 space and go into the next one with a single crochet, like so. So we have a chain 4 loop, and we're going to repeat that for a total of 3 times, so we have 3 chain 4 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So we've got 2 loops right there. Chain 4. Skipping a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So we now have 3 chain 4 loops. Excuse me. And then we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to skip this next chain 1 space and go into the next one. All right. And single crochet into there, like so. And then chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip another chain 1 space, go into the next space with a single crochet. So at the very top, we have our 2 chain 7s. On the side here, we've got 3 chain 4s, and at the end, a chain 10. All right. So continuing along, going to chain 4, because it's all about symmetry. So skipping that chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4, skip the next, go into the next with a chain 1, a single crochet, pardonnez-moi, chain 4 again, skipping this chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, last but not least, we're going to do another chain 7. See, we did a chain 10 at the beginning here. At the end, we're going to chain 7, and I'll show you why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then ending it by doing a double crochet into the third chain from the bottom. And the double crochet acts as the additional 3 chains that we had on this side, because this was, like I said, a chaining of 10. This was a chaining of 7. The double crochet acts as the additional 3 chains. So now you can go about this in 2 ways. You can skip over the chain 1 space, because it was a chaining of 4, or you can go 3 from the bottom. 1, 2, and 3, right into that third from the bottom. And as you can see, that one right there is that chain 1 space, figuratively speaking. So we're doing a double in the end, right there. And so now this is the same size as this one over here. Ta-da! And that's the end of row 4. Row 5. Alrighty, so for row 5, we're going to start by chaining up 3. Turn the work, and then do 9 double crochets into this big loop here. And the first chaining of 3 is going to count as a double crochet. And we're going to add 9 for a total of 10 double crochets. So it's a total of 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I always like to double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. All right. So then we're going to go directly from the double crochet that we just did, and we're going to do a single crochet into this first chain 4 loop. So we're not chaining anything from here to here. We're just going directly in with a single crochet, like so. Then chain 4. Single crochet into the next chain 4 space, chain 4, and single crochet into the next chain 4 space. All right, so we had 3 chain 4 spaces. Now we only have 2. Okay, so going directly from there, we're going to do 10 double crochets into this chain 7 loop, and then 10 double crochets in this chain 7 loop right here. Again, we're not chaining from the single crochet, we're just going directly from the single crochet into the doubles. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just do a double check. Now, when you're double checking, be very careful that you don't mistake this chain 4 as one of your double crochets. It looks just like one, but as you can see, that is the chain 4 that we had. So starting from over here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And then no chaining in between this group of 10 and this group of 10 that I'm about to do. Just go directly right in and start. Right like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I believe 10 if I haven't miscounted. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, so then going directly from this double crochet, do a single crochet into the next chain 4 space, then chain 4, if you don't spaz out like I just did. Alright, so that was 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next chain 4 space, chain 4, pull out some more yarn, there we go, single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and then into the 10 chain loop from before, we're going to do 10 double crochets. And going directly from a single crochet into that chain 4 loop, directly into the double crochets, no chaining in between. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, being careful not to misconstrue that chain 4 as one of your doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And I'm going to lay this out for you so you can see what it is that I am doing. Like so. And it may look a little bit wonky at the moment, but it will definitely come into its own after a bit. All right, so that is the end of row 5. Row 6. Okay, going to start row 6 by chaining up 3. Turn the work. All right, and then we're going to do a double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. So this first one, this first one we're going to skip because the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we're going to skip that first one, and we're going to go into the next one. Like so. And also, You know what? I'm going to undo that only because I'm going to show you why. When you are chaining up your 3, it does make it a bit easier if you are a little bit loose on the chain, so that when you're working back in on the following row, it's a lot easier to get your hook in there. See, it's a little bit looser now. All right, so that is 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And then going directly from that double crochet into the next chain 4 loop, do a single crochet, chain 4, single crochet into the next chain 4 loop. So we went from 3 to 2 down to 1, chain 4 loop. And now we're going to do a total of 20 double crochets all the way across. Now again, be very, very careful that you do not mistake the single crochet stitch from the previous row right there as your first double. Now this one right here is your first double. It's very easy to make that mistake, believe you me. So we're going to go into this first double right here with a double crochet. You see? Not into the single, but into the double. And you can always go back after you do your 20 double crochets. You can check and see, do you in fact have 20? Does it line up properly? There's nothing wrong with double checking. It's the same thing with people that cut cloth or wood, you know, and I believe the expression is something along the lines of measure twice, cut once. And granted, you can undo your stitches, and you know, there's no real problem with that. But it'll save you a lot of time in the long run if you double check. Because once you finish a row and then you're halfway through the next, and then you realize, oh, on the previous row you miscounted, it can be very frustrating. And I speak from personal experience, believe you me. I've done it countless times. So the only reason why I go on and on and on about it is because I really don't want to see you make the same mistakes that I have made. But in a sense, they're not really mistakes because I learned from them. Therefore, they're learning experiences. Now, as you can see, I've reached the last double crochet, not going into there because that's my single crochet right there. So I've got 20 double crochets going all the way across the top, just as I want them. And then going to proceed by going directly from this double crochet into a single crochet into that chain 4 space, chain 4, single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and then going directly from that single crochet into the double crochets on this side, Again, being careful not to go into that single crochet that's going into that chain 4 space, but going into the actual double. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then going into the third chain from the bottom on this last chain 3. This will make 10. Ta-da! And that's the end of row 6. Really coming along. Row 7. Alright, so for row 7 is actually going to be very much like this row here where we did our chain 1 spaces. Very much like. Alright, so we're going to start by chaining 4, just like we did on that row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the work. And so because it's a chain 4, it acts as a double crochet plus a chain 1 space. Okay, so we're going to skip this first stitch here, going into the next with a double crochet, like so. Chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the next, and we're going to do this for the rest of this cluster here, so to speak, this grouping. Okay. Almost there. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 double crochets with chain 1 spaces in between them. Perfect. And then going directly across, we're not going to chain 1 after doing that 10th double crochet. We're actually going to skip directly from this side here over the 1 single chain 4 loop here. We're going to skip right over it, and we're going to do a double crochet on the other side. Now again, I can't stress this enough, be very careful not to mistake this single crochet stitch as a double crochet. And also you're going to want this stitch that we're going to be doing, this double crochet stitch, to be tight to bring this together. You don't want it to be too loose. Alright, so again, skipping that stitch there, going into the one right here. I'm going to do a double crochet. See, I've got a nice tight stitch there. And we are bridging over, then chain 1, double crochet into the double, and we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 all the way across to the other side. Pretty easy. Now, it is perfectly conceivable. I mean, I have seen comments and suggestions and so forth that what you can do is in between this double crochet and this double crochet to actually do a chain stitch. You could, but I am merely following along with the pattern, so that is how I'm doing it. And there have been plenty of other instances where I've taken creative, artistic license and gone my own way, but in the shawl that I had created so that I could show you the intro-outro picture, this is the way that I did it, so this is the way I'm doing it now. And of course, if any of you like to think outside of the box, and if you have an alternative, hey, more power to you. Patterns, I think, are lovely things as long as they are not constricting. Quite often, they're really great as sort of springboards for more ideas. Okay, we're almost on the other side. Okay, almost there. Alright, so again, went into that last double crochet, not into this single crochet here. We're going to skip right across, going into the double crochet on this side, not this naughty little single crochet stitch. We're going to go into the double. And I say it's a naughty stitch because it's very easy to be tricked into thinking that it is in fact a double when it's only a single. And so on this side, again, we're doing the exact same thing, doing a double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, and so forth all the way across here. And that will commence, not commence, conclude. That will conclude row 7 for us. You'll have to forgive me. It's about 1:10 in the morning that I'm filming this. I think I'm pretty lucid, but I get a little tongue-tied. Alright, and we are almost there. Okay, we've reached the last two, so going into that one with a double, chain one, and then into the third chain, 1, 2, and 3 from the bottom. Going to do our double crochet, and there we go. It's the end of row 7. Pretty as a picture. Come quite a long way, haven't we? Alright. Alrighty, row 8. Okay, this is the last row that we're going to do as far as the virus pattern is concerned, for now anyway. And so because we have our double crochets with a chain one space, just like we did down here, and we had our double crochets with a chain one space up here, we're going to do the same thing where we had a large chain of 10 and so forth. So we're going to chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn the work. And we're going to skip that first chain 1 space and do a single crochet into the next chain 1 space. So skipping this one, go into the next one with a single crochet, like so. And then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So we have 1 chain 10 space and a chain 4 space. We need 3 chain 4 spaces, just like before. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4. Skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So we've got a total of 3 chain 4 loops, and now we need to chain 7 because we need to go over this arch here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to skip the next 3 spaces. So we went into this one, so we're skipping this one, and this one. So we're going to go into this next space over here with a single crochet. I'll show you. So it should look like that. So skipping these 3 spaces here, okay. Insert the hook once more. And then we're going to do some more chain 4 spaces. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. Chain 4. Skip the next the next chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. And excuse me. Chain 4. Skip the next chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So we've got 3 chain 4 loops right there, and we've reached the top of our center here. All right. So we're going to chain 7 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to skip another chain 1 space, single crochet, like so. Chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip another chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet. So now we've got our two large eyes, so to speak, at the top, just like we had down there. And so now we need our chain 4 spaces once again. So chain 4, skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4, skip a chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4, skip the next chain 1 space, go into the next with a single crochet, and we need to go over and create the bridge over this space here. So that's going to be another chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need to skip 3 spaces once again. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So going into this space here, single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skipping a space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4, skip a space, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 4, skipping a space, going into the next with a single crochet, and then chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the bottom, like so. And that is the end of row 8. All right. Ta-da! There we are. Alrighty. So when I started row 8, I said that that was the end of where we were concerned as far as the virus pattern is concerned. Well, yes and no, because right now it's just a matter of doing the repeat, which is going to be rows 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to timestamp all of the rows to make it nice and easy for you. And so all you need to do from here is do rows 5, 6, and 7. And I am going to actually do a video on those rows if you want to watch that. Also, I'm going to go into the next bit as well relatively soon as far as where the granny starts. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to leave you high and dry, but this is where I'm going to leave off for this section of the video. And I really hope that you're enjoying yourselves as much as I am, because you know I am. And so listen, if you liked this video thus far, please hit the like button down below, because your support means ever so much to me. And if you have any questions, comments, what have you, do so in the comments section. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do so, because I try to post videos as often as I can, and that way you can stay tuned. So listen, until next time, I want you guys to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.